and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Business Point here on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business. And of course, where we talk about Nigeria's economy, government policies, tech, and innovation. I'm Queen Akaba. Many thanks for staying with us on the program. Today, we'll be looking at what has plagued a lot of businesses, talking about this risk in businesses and managing this risk, how the many challenges facing businesses, and how to upskill as well as do well all around in terms of business. We'll be right back after this break to give you a breakdown. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Many thanks for staying with us on the program. We're looking at business operations in Nigeria and some of the risk factors and how we can surmount this risk. But how can we talk about surmounting risk in operations without actually highlighting some of the common risks businesses face in a challenged economy? Business operating in a challenged economy, no doubt, faces a multitude of risks that can impact operations, impact profitability, and long-term sustainability. Some of the most common risks would include market volatility, liquidity crisis, regulatory changes, supply chain disruptions, and cybersecurity threats. Market volatility particularly can lead to fluctuations in demand, pricing, and revenue, making it very difficult or even challenging for businesses to maintain a stable financial footing. But how about liquidity crisis? That can arise when businesses struggle to meet their short-term financial obligations. What are these short-term financial obligations? Paying suppliers or paying their employees. Let's not even talk about regulatory changes from the government, regulatory bodies, policies and all of that can affect the compliance costs, can also affect operational processes and competitiveness. How about supply chain disruptions? This can happen due to various factors, which include natural disasters, logistical issues, or supplier insolvency. And this can also lead to delays, cancellation of strategies, of critical inputs. And then, now that most businesses are online, a lot of business owners are thriving, no doubt, with the many disadvantages. The advantages, no doubt, outweighs the disadvantages. But one of the biggest problems of thriving online businesses, you'd agree with me, is cyber security threats. And these threats can compromise businesses, the sensitive data of these businesses. It can disrupt operations and damage the reputation of these businesses, as well as the financial database of these businesses. And so it's a major risk factor. Now, knowing about all of this risk factor, the big question now will be, how can businesses mitigate market risks in this sort of economy? First of all, we need to know that there are several strategies that businesses can employ. First would be diversifying revenue streams. Doing this would help businesses reduce dependency on a single market or customer segment. The question now should be, how can this be achieved? First, by expanding into new markets, developing new products or services, or exploring alternative distribution channels. Another way would be that businesses can hedge against currency fluctuations by using financial instruments such as forward contracts, options, or futures. These can help mitigate the impact of exchange rate volatility on import costs, export revenue, or foreign investment. Thirdly, maintaining a cash reserve can provide a buffer against economic downturns. Even for individuals, not just businesses alone, it is very important to have it at the back of your mind that you need a cash reserve, whether you're an MSME or an individual or whatever business you're into, because when we have these fluctuations in currency, when we have these fluctuations or when we have economic downturns, always have something to fall back to that would help, that will provide a buffer against these downturns and will help you meet your financial obligations. Also, investing in new opportunities daily. There are new opportunities that you can invest in. As much as you want to invest in new opportunities, you want to be sensitive and look out. Opportunities that are relevant to time, opportunities that are relevant to season, opportunities that are relevant to trend and to your business, which is most important. While there are a lot of opportunities that you can invest in, you want to tailor it down to what is relevant to your business, what is relevant to time, and what is going to be advantageous for you. And then finally, you can develop scenario planning and contingency strategies to prepare for potential market risk, such as changes in government policies, shifts in consumer demand, or unexpected competitor actions. Now let's look at what strategies can businesses employ to manage liquidity risk. It is critical for business operating in a challenged economy to manage liquidity risk and know how to. There are several strategies that can help businesses mitigate liquidity risk. First, maintaining a cash reserve can provide a buffer against unexpected expenses, like I mentioned earlier, revenue shortfalls or delays in receiving payment. Also, optimizing accounts that are receivable and payable processes to improve cash flow. This can involve implementing efficient invoicing and payment system, offering discounts for early payment, or negotiating extended payment terms with suppliers. Second, the business can explore alternative funding sources such as invoice financing, asset-based lending, or supply chain financing. These options can provide quick access to cash, helping businesses meet their short-term financial obligations. And also, business can develop a comprehensive cash flow forecast, regularly reviewing and updating it to anticipate potential liquidity risk and develop contingency plans. Now, the risk about regulatory issues, one of the questions will be, how can a business or businesses ensure regulatory compliance in a rapidly changing economic environment? There are several ways also. One of it will be that businesses can take several steps. First, they need to stay informed. Information is power. As a business owner, you need to be informed about the changes in laws and regulations. It is very critical so that you are not caught unaware or caught off guard, so that you can stay afloat of things happening. And also, you can monitor government websites, attend industry conferences, or subscribe to regulatory updates to stay abreast of development. Secondly, you can conduct regulatory compliance gaps and also develop strategies to address them. When I talk about identifying potential compliance gaps and developing strategies, what do I mean? I mean that you can involve reviewing internal processes, you can assess the effectiveness of compliance policies, and you can identify areas for improvement. And then thirdly, you can implement robust compliance procedures that would help ensure adherence to regulatory requirements. This can involve developing clear policies, providing training for your employees, and also establishing mechanisms for reporting and addressing compliance breaches. And lastly, about regulations in a very dynamic economy, what can you do as a business owner? You can engage with regulatory bodies, industry association, compliance experts, you can seek guidance, you can share best practices, and also stay up to date on regulatory developments. Before we move on to the question of what measures can businesses take to protect themselves against supply chain disruptions, we know how much these disruptions can affect businesses. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we will look at the way forward to protect supply chains disruptions. Please stay with us.
know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Many thanks for staying with us on the program. If you just joined us, this is Business Point on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business. And we have been running through surmounting risk in a challenged economy. Business operations, basically looking at business operations. And now we're looking at how businesses can protect themselves against disruptions in supply. We know that disruptions in supply can have significant impact on businesses, including delays, cancellations, or shortages of critical inputs. Now, to protect businesses against such disruptions, one of the ways is taking several measures like diversifying the supplier base. Not just having a particular supplier, like they say, do not put all your eggs in one basket. And so diversifying your supplier base can reduce dependence on a single supplier, and also helping the business mitigate the impact of supplier insolvency, like logistical issues or natural disasters. Secondly, implementing robust inventory management systems can help businesses maintain adequate stock levels, reduce the risk of stockout or shortages. Now, this can involve using data analytics, or implementing just-in-time inventory systems, or maintaining buffer stocks of critical inputs. And then thirdly, developing contingency plans can help prepare businesses for potential supply chain disruptions. This can involve identifying alternative suppliers, like I mentioned earlier, developing emergency sourcing procedures, or establishing relationship with backup logistic providers. Finally, investing in supply chain visibility and monitoring systems. Well, this will enable businesses to track shipment, monitor supplier performance, and respond quickly to disruptions. What are the other risks we're looking at and how we can mitigate it? First, we will be looking at safeguarding against cyber security threats in an economy like this, a challenged one or dynamic one. I mentioned earlier that a lot of businesses have gone digital, have gone online, and businesses are thriving online. And as much as we have businesses thriving online, we also have cybersecurity threats and challenges that are giving these businesses a hard time. And so how can businesses thrive amidst this threat or mitigate this challenge of cybersecurity? We know that cybersecurity can have devastating impacts on businesses, including data breaches, operational disruptions, reputational damage. Now, to safeguard against such threats, businesses can take steps like implementing robust cybersecurity measures, which would help them protect against cyber attacks. That's one of it. And businesses can also ensure that their website is, duly audited, duly monitored, duly looked into to ensure that there are no issues, there are no problems. And also, businesses can also ensure they can ensure that they go through payment processes before every order is sent out, and to also ensure that they're careful of links, the measures provided to monitor, some of their websites, track some of their, online pages, and also see to it that there are no scam pages or pages where people twin pages, like they call it, where you have a clone page. It should be duly reported, and so that the image of these brands, the image of these businesses are not put into jeopardy. But let's look at, before we talk about the final point about mitigating these cybersecurity threats, let's just look at how much these threats can affect a business. Now, there are different ways, different cybersecurity threats now, one of which is hacking into accounts, different companies or brand accounts. Another would be pages, another would be websites, and putting the business in jeopardy, putting the reputation of the business in jeopardy. And when these pages, these accounts are hacked, we know that there's impersonation, the customers, the safety of the customers, safety of the client is at risk. And so we want to ensure that as a business owner, that you put in proper measure, invest in protecting your cyberspace, invest in protecting your website, invest in digital safety. Basically, as much as you use the digital platform, you have to prepare ahead to ensure that whatever challenges that may arise, put out money aside. Like you have physical shops, people have physical shops, they pay for security, they pay for the shops to get cleaned, they pay for the shops, they put on CCTV cameras and all of that. If you have a thriving business that is online, you have to make same effort, put in same effort, pay for cybersecurity, have a proper and a solid website. You don't want to play games with your website, or just put out trivial websites, and you want to ensure that whoever it is that will be handling your website is certified and is a professional. So you want to invest in cybersecurity. But that's how much we will take on the program, looking at business operations in Nigeria and the risk and how to surmount this risk. I hope that you've been able to pick out a few, or if not all, on how to go about surmounting this risk. I'm Queen Agaban. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. And also, don't forget to download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app on Android and iOS to keep track of our broadcast. Until I see you again, bye for now and have a beautiful day ahead.